takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made in this program.
The following is a paid commercial program for RotoRazor, sponsored by Razor Tools, LLC.
Stay tuned to find out how to get a free upgrade to the RotoRazor 3000 series. Absolutely free.
Uh-oh, can't find the right saw for the job? You need a hand saw for this, a circular saw for that, a band saw, a miter saw, and a jigsaw? And with all the different blades, that job's turned into an expensive jigsaw puzzle. Not anymore. Hi everybody, I'm Joe Fowler, and this is the RotoRazor. Over 3,000 screaming RPMs of workshop muscle to make any do-it-yourself project so fast and easy, you'll actually enjoy doing it yourself. Can your saw do that? Imagine using the same saw to cut hardwood, plywood, laminated flooring, drywall, sheet metal, ceramic tile, grout, masonry, marble, travertine, pegboard, PVC and plastic, even metal and steel. Or how about a saw that cuts carpet without a snag, like sharp scissors on paper? RotoRazor cuts horizontally or vertically. It cuts a straight line, along a curved line, or plunge cut a corner in no time. No other saw on earth has the cutting precision of the RotoRazor. Imagine trying to make a contoured cut like this with an ordinary circular saw. Impossible. And talk about precision, watch again as the RotoRazor makes the same ribbon cut in a matter of seconds. You get the exact cut you need, perfect and precise, in seconds. RotoRazor really is the all-in-one saw that does it all, just right.
I built a portable storage locker that sits on my trailer that I can pull behind my automobile or store in my yard. RotoRazor was the perfect saw to do the job. Real easy to use, cut like a hot knife going through butter. It was the right width of blade, so it leaves a nice, clean, smooth cut. Easy to follow a straight line, easy to plunge into wood with it. Today, the RotoRazor was the right tool for the project, and it did a great job.
Take a look at this. I'm cutting this board right on top of a glass table. You would never do this with any kind of saw because it would cut right through and it would shatter the glass. But with RotoRazor, it's so precise, you can cut anywhere on any surface, you can cut anything, and that saves you time, it saves the table, and it saves you money. First, it's designed with a 400-watt motor inside a construction-grade chassis that's durable, incredibly light, and fits easily in the palm of any sized hand. On one side is a thumb-control power switch, while on the other is a safety switch that keeps the blade guard locked until you're ready to cut. And the blade guard is adjustable. Cut shallow, medium, or deep. The RotoRazor comes with 3 quick-change razor-sharp cutting blades. One for wood and other materials like PVC, plastic, and carpet. A second blade for metals like steel, copper, and aluminum. And a third for ceramic tile, marble, and other stone materials. With RotoRazor's cutting-edge versatility, what else could you possibly put into one saw? Well, get this, the RotoRazor comes equipped with its own dust removal system. With ordinary saws, dust gets everywhere, in your eyes, all over your clothes, all over the floor. Not anymore. The RotoRazor dust extraction system removes all the dust so you don't have to deal with it. Just plug one end into the dust release valve, then plug the other end into the hose of any vacuum. Turn on the vacuum, push the power button. Now you're cutting clean as all the sawdust, dirt, and debris gets sucked into the vacuum. You know, circular saws create a dusty mess, a mess that you have to clean up. But the amazing RotoRazor cuts clean every time. Cutting with a handsaw is hard work, and you have to cut over the edge of the workbench. But with the RotoRazor, you can cut on any tabletop. And since the blade is adjustable, you'll never damage the tabletop below. Circular saws are heavy, they're bulky, and making smooth radial cuts is a chore. RotoRazor is lightweight, it's compact for an easy grip, and it rolls through radial cuts with ease. Use a jigsaw to cut a hole, and you'll need to drill pilot holes first. But RotoRazor plunge cuts without any pre-drilling and cuts holes in record time. Bandsaws weigh a ton, they cost a fortune, and the blade is always exposed. But RotoRazor is a fraction of the size, and the blade is always surrounded by the blade guard, keeping fingers safe. Got a tile job? Well, you can pay for this monster tile saw, or you can have the RotoRazor that cuts new tile like magic without cracking the tile.
I wanted to remodel the kitchen countertops with granite tile. It was so much easier to use the RotoRaiser rather than getting out a great big cumbersome tile saw. It would have made a huge mess. The RotoRaiser, what makes it so easy, it's small, it fits in my hand, and I can do it by myself. The angles were smooth, it was so easy to cut the tiles. It was wonderful, I absolutely loved it, it was perfect.
It's time for the RotoRaiser Challenge. We're gonna cut out an octagon window and light switch from the drywall behind us. And here to do it, come on in you two. This is Nathan, a professional carpenter, so you've done this before.
Oh, I do it all the time.
And Marcy, you are a
professional mom, and I've never done this before.
Nathan, you can use any tool in your box. Marcy, you only get one tool, but it's the one saw that cuts them all. This is the RotoRaiser. Let's go to the drywall. Go. Now, Nathan, you're starting with a drill.
That's right. I have to drill first because the jigsaw can't just plunge into the drywall.
Okay, well, meantime, Marcy can plunge with the RotoRaiser. Plunging right in.
It's so fast and easy.
No lie. You're already on your final cut. You switched tools.
I did. It's my next tool here.
Oh, Marcy! She got the light switch done. She's on the octagon. Now, you switched tools for, okay.
That's right. This is a jigsaw here, and I'm being real careful not to wander off the lines.
Yeah, because they're kind of tough to control, right?
Sometimes.
Okay, look at this. Watch this.
Joe, I used to be afraid of power tools, but not this one.
No.
Nope.
Not at all. Look at you go. Finally, we've got Nathan doing his pilot holes. Way to go, Marcy. Isn't it light?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go back to the jigsaw, right?
I got the bigger saw here for the bigger cut.
Marcy's been using one tool only, and that's the RotoRaiser. That's a lot of dust.
It is a lot of dust. The drywall is always dusty.
Meantime, Marcy, you've got a dust extractor on the RotoRaiser. There's no
I
dust.
love it. Joe, I love it. There's no cleanup.
Do it! Oh, Marcy is done. This is beautiful. Hey, Nathan.
Oh.
I know you tried desperately to catch up to her.
I tried, Joe.
Now, what happened over here? This kind of got beat up?
Well, the saw jumped. I must have hit something in the wall.
Let's see. Oh, Nathan, that's not only expensive, that's dangerous. With the RotoRaiser, you can completely control the depth of the blade. No cut on the wire, just a beautiful cut on the drywall. So, the decision is yours. You have a choice. You can pay a contractor by the hour and spend a lot of money, or you can do it yourself fast and easy with the RotoRaiser. Here's how to order.
Uh-oh, can't find the right saw for the job? You need a handsaw for this, a circular saw for that, a bandsaw, a miter saw, and a jigsaw. And with all the different blades, that job's turned into an expensive jigsaw puzzle. Not anymore. Introducing RotoRaiser, the high-powered handsaw with over 3,400 roaring RPMs, packed into the most versatile, durable, lightweight, and portable saw ever made. Cut hardwood, plywood, laminated flooring, drywall, ceramic tile, grout, masonry, marble and stone, pegboard, and PVC. It even cuts right through metal and steel, and cuts through carpet without a single snag. RotoRaiser's a jigsaw, circular saw, bandsaw, tile saw, and hacksaw combined. RotoRaiser cuts horizontally or vertically. It cuts in a straight line, along a curved line, or plunge cuts a corner on a dime. With RotoRaiser, you can rip it, cross-cut it, miter it, or trim it. RotoRaiser cuts new tile like magic without cracking and removes old tile and grout in seconds. Inside is a 400-watt motor and a construction-grade chassis that's durable, incredibly light, and fits easily in the palm of any sized hand. There's a thumb control power switch on one side with a safety switch on the other that keeps the blade guard locked until you're ready to cut. And the blade guard adjusts so you can cut to the depth you want without damaging the surface below. RotoRaiser comes with 3 quick change razor sharp cutting blades. You get a tungsten carbide blade for wood, a high-speed steel blade for metal, and a rock-hard diamond blade for tile and stone. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a professional contractor, if it's a home repair or a weekend woodworking project, if you're a tool guy cutting for a living, or a first-time user on an arts and crafts project, The Roto Razor is the fast and easy way to get the job done right the first time and every time. You'd spend a fortune for all of these power saws, but for a limited time only, you get the Roto Razor including 3 cutting blades, all for just 4 easy payments of only $49.95. But wait, as part of this introductory special, we'll make the final payment for you. That's right, order in the next 30 minutes and you get the Roto Razor with over 3,400 RPMs of power for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But we're just getting started. To help make cleanup a snap, we'll also include the handy dust removal attachment kit, a $30 value at no extra charge. Just attach the dust release valve to any vacuum, and now you're cutting clean with a powerful machine and without the mess. Plus, we'll also include the Roto Razor Contractor Storage Case. This durable construction-grade case keeps your Roto Razor storage safe and secure. A $20 value, it's free too. And we're not finished yet. Order right now and we'll also include this professional 310-piece contractor's drill bit set. The set comes complete with metal drill bits, masonry bits, wood bits, screwdriver bits, molly bolts, wall anchors, and more. Every bit for every job imaginable. 310 pieces in all, a $50 value, yours free. Just pay separate shipping and processing. So call or go online right now to purchase your Roto Razor, complete with 3 cutting blades, the dust removal kit, the contractor storage case, and the 310-piece drill bit set. A total value of over $300. All yours for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But hold on, order right now and we'll automatically upgrade you to the new and improved Roto Razor 3000 series with greater power to slice through any material faster and easier than ever. Plus all the best features of your Roto Razor, but it now cuts even deeper and with greater torque and stands up to even the toughest of jobs. And today, when you order, you'll get this upgrade absolutely free. This is a risk-free offer because the Roto Razor comes with our exclusive 1-year replacement warranty and our unconditional 30-day Create Like a Contractor money-back guarantee. Use your Roto Razor for a full month, and if it's not the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to give your home an extreme makeover, simply send it back for a full refund of the purchase price, but keep the 310-piece drill bit set as our gift to you for just trying Roto Razor. You get it all for just 3 easy payments of just $49.95. And remember, call now to upgrade to the Roto Razor 3000 series absolutely free. Have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen or go online to order your Roto Razor right now.
A project that I just recently completed with the Roto Razor was installing a floor in my living room. I completed it in just a weekend. What I like about the Roto Razor is that it's really easy to use. I can change my blades easily. It's lightweight, not intimidating like the bigger table saws or circular saws. Easy to maneuver, and it's really easy to make any type of cut that you need to do to get your project done. Because of the Roto Razor, I now have a beautiful floor that I can enjoy.
Roto Razor is so innovative and versatile, you can use it for construction, remodeling, you can even use it for craft projects. With Roto Razor, everyone cuts like a pro. It has 3 industrial strength blades, one for wood and other materials like PVC, plastic, and carpet, a second blade for metals like steel, copper, and aluminum, and a third for ceramic tile, marble, and other stone materials. And the blade guard is fully adjustable, so you can adjust the depth of any cut for any job. And the blade guard locks into place, keeping fingers safely away from the blade. And it even has a plug-in ventilation system that sucks up the dust, the dirt, and the grime, so cleanup is a snap. Roto Razor will save you a ton of time and money on your home improvement and repair projects. Does this look familiar? A door handle punched a hole in the drywall. Let's fix it fast and easy with Roto Razor. Simply plunge cut into the drywall, just like that. Now I'm gonna cut out a square around the hole. I don't need a contractor. This is fast and easy, and it's also clean. I've got the vacuum attachment. There's no dust. Now I'm gonna take that piece and trace around a new piece. Now let's take it. Oh, look at this precision fit right over the hole. And with a little putty and paint, that wall looks new again, thanks to Roto Razor. Uh-oh, somebody ran over the hose again. Well, don't spend the money to replace it. Instead, take 2 minutes and repair it with Roto Razor. Here's what you do. Take Roto Razor and cut off that old coupling. Just like that. Say goodbye to the old, slip on the new sleeve, slide in a new coupling, tighten, Problem solved. You just saved time and money. Thank you, RotoRaiser. Here's an expensive problem. Damaged tile, and it's in the worst possible spot. It's right in the middle of the floor. Well, don't spend the money to replace the entire floor. Fix it with your RotoRaiser. The RotoRaiser tile blade cuts right through all the ground. Look at this. Simple, fast, easy, and clean. Because I've got the dust removal vacuum attachment, it sucks up all the dust. There's no mess. No need to hire a contractor. You and RotoRaiser are doing it all. RotoRaiser does the hard work so I don't have to. Pull out the old tile, add tile and some grout, and it's as good as new. RotoRaiser just saved you hundreds of dollars. No matter what project you have around the house, RotoRaiser's the one tool you'll go to time and time again. Here's my project. I've got a downspout and I want to extend it. This attachment's too long. Watch RotoRaiser fix that. You're looking at the ultimate home improvement power that gets the job done right the first time, every time. With RotoRaiser, it's super fast. Problem solved.
I wouldn't call myself a handyman, but I wanted to build a doghouse for my son's new best friend. I didn't have to dig out any power tools or saws. I just used the compact RotoRaiser to do everything I needed, like cutting the shingles down to size. RotoRaiser cut through it all quickly and easily, with no mess. And in no time, my son and I had a doghouse built that any weekend warrior would be proud of. RotoRaiser saved the day, and it's my new favorite tool around the house. RotoRaiser is amazing.
Now here we have three of the most common household saws and surfaces. We have the tile saw for tile, the jigsaw which cuts metal, and of course the circular saw for wood. Now my question is, why would you spend all that money for three expensive different tools when all you need is the RotoRaiser? Don't take my word for it. Here's Sean Hinckley. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hey, Joe. Good to see you.
Sean is a general contractor for how many years?
20 years now.
20 years. You have seen it all. You've cut it all. Cut some wood and tell me what you think. I want your honest opinion.
Oh, that's awesome. It's light, fits in my hand great. I can't believe how fast it cut that. That's a powerful little motor.
Can I get rid of this 14-pound archaic weight? Can I?
Use it for an anchor.
Thank you, really. Now, this is a jigsaw, everybody. What's the negative about the jigsaw?
Well, there's so many negatives about the jigsaw. One, it bounces around when you try to use it.
Yep.
The blades will come out if you put too much pressure on them. Straight lines, good luck.
Get rid of it. Here we go. RotoRaiser. There's some serious advantages to the RotoRaiser.
You know what? I could plunge cut with this because it has a circular blade. No drill, no pilot hole. Just go right at it.
Oh! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Nice. You know what? Even when I use tin snips and our metalworking, it's not that smooth.
Really? This is as good as it gets, isn't it?
That's the best I've seen.
Professional. It's like cutting through paper, too. You went right through it. Okay, now let's go to this monster saw. I hate this saw. It's the tile saw. It's wet. You gotta have it wet to make the cuts, right?
I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. The water is the biggest problem we have on the job site. I mean, it throws it everywhere.
We have the diamond blade for tile. There you go. Tile, everybody. Will you look at this cut?
I am blown away by what this does with tile.
Whether it's wood, metal, tile, the RotoRaiser cuts them all.
This is the real deal, Joe.
Whether you're a professional contractor like Sean or a do-it-yourselfer like me, or you've never even used a handsaw before, RotoRaiser is the one tool that anyone can use for just about any cutting job. Recently, I took the RotoRaiser to a home improvement store and I asked everyday people to try it for themselves. Did the RotoRaiser make the cut? Let's find out. Hello.
Look at that. Look at it. It's as straight as a ruler.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Wow. This weighs nothing in my hand. Easy to use, easy to start. I like the motor.
Do you realize what you're cutting?
I'm cutting metal. This is amazing. Woo!
Now, look what you just did.
Wow. It was really powerful.
Aren't you good? Woo! It's like butter. Now, only one hand. Just use one hand. One-handed!
That's crazy. I did it.
Yes, you did.
Don't tell my husband. He'll want me to help out at home.
It's lightweight, it's innovative, it's the one saw that cuts it all. What is it? RotoRaiser! All right!
Uh-oh. Can't find the right saw for the job? You need a handsaw for this, a circular saw for that, a bandsaw, a miter saw, and a jigsaw. And with all the different blades, that job's turned into an expensive jigsaw puzzle. Not anymore. Introducing Roto-Razor, the high-powered handsaw with over 3,400 roaring RPMs, packed into the most versatile, durable, lightweight, and portable saw ever made. Cut hardwood, plywood, laminated flooring, drywall, ceramic tile, grout, masonry, marble and stone, pegboard, and PVC. It even cuts right through metal and steel and cuts through carpet without a single snag. Roto-Razor's a jigsaw, circular saw, bandsaw, tile saw, and hacksaw combined. Roto-Razor cuts new tile like magic without cracking and removes old tile and grout in seconds. Inside is a 400-watt motor and a construction-grade chassis that's durable, incredibly light, and fits easily in the palm of any sized hand. There's a thumb control power switch on one side with a safety switch on the other that keeps the blade guard locked until you're ready to cut. And the blade guard adjusts so you can cut to the depth you want without damaging the surface below. Roto-Razor comes with 3 quick-change razor-sharp cutting blades. You get a tungsten carbide blade for wood, a high-speed steel blade for metal, and a rock-hard diamond blade for tile and stone. You'd spend a fortune for all of these power saws, but for a limited time only, you get the Roto-Razor including 3 cutting blades, all for just 4 easy payments of only $49.95. But wait, as part of this introductory special, we'll make the final payment for you. That's right, order in the next 30 minutes and you get the Roto-Razor with over 3,400 RPMs of power for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But we're just getting started. To help make cleanup a snap, we'll also include the handy dust removal attachment kit, a $30 value at no extra charge. Just attach the dust release valve to any vacuum, and now you're cutting clean with a powerful machine and without the mess. Plus, we'll also include the Roto-Razor Contractor Storage Case. This durable construction-grade case keeps your Roto-Razor storage safe and secure. A $20 value, it's free too. And we're not finished yet. Order right now and we'll also include this professional 310-piece contractor's drill bit set. The set comes complete with metal drill bits, masonry bits, wood bits, screwdriver bits, molly bolts, wall anchors, and more. Every bit for every job imaginable. 310 pieces in all, a $50 value, yours free. Just pay separate shipping and processing. So call or go online right now to purchase your Roto-Razor, complete with 3 cutting blades, the dust removal kit, the contractor storage case, and the 310-piece drill bit set. A total value of over $300. All yours for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But hold on, order right now and we'll automatically upgrade you to the new and improved Roto-Razor 3000 series with greater power to slice through any material faster and easier than ever. Plus all the best features of your Roto-Razor, but it now cuts even deeper and with greater torque and stands up to even the toughest of jobs. And today, when you order, you'll get this upgrade absolutely free. This is a risk-free offer because the Roto-Razor comes with our exclusive 1-year replacement warranty and our unconditional 30-day create-like-a-contractor money-back guarantee. Use your Roto-Razor for a full month, and if it's not the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to give your home an extreme makeover, simply send it back for a full refund of the purchase price, but keep the 310-piece drill bit set as our gift to you for just trying Roto-Razor. You get it all for just 3 easy payments of just $49.95. And remember, call now to upgrade to the Roto-Razor 3000 series absolutely free. Have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen or go online to order your Roto-Razor right now.
I'm a crafter. I love being able to create things myself. That's why I love the Roto-Razor. It gives me the versatility I need and it's so lightweight and easy to use. One of the things I've made is a shadow box. The Roto-Razor just glides through the wood so fast and easy to make quick, straight cuts every time. I glue the shelf pieces in place, stain the wood, and I've got a beautiful shadow box to hang on my wall and display knickknacks. I couldn't have done it without the Roto-Razor.
Oh, that is so perfect. You know, for crafting and woodworking, Roto-Razor is ideal. It's powerful, it's simple, it's compact, and there's no dust with the vacuum attachment. Let me finish my project. Oh, another perfect cut. The project is done, and I did it myself with Roto-Razor. It comes with 3 industrial strength cutting blades. The wood cutting blade plunge cuts in an instant and cuts right through plywood, paneling, and wood flooring and trim in nothing flat. I need to cut a hole in this wall for an outlet. I'm gonna hang a TV, but you never know what dangers are behind this wall. Never fear, RotoRazor's here. It's so fast and easy. It plunge cuts right into the drywall. Now look at this. You're not cutting into any dangerous live wires or plumbing. Because with RotoRazor, you can adjust the depth of the cut, and it's so clean. There's no dust, there's no mess, because you've got the vacuum attachment. Fast, clean, and safe. There you go. Job done. Fast, easy, and safe. And no damage to pipes and cables, and no dusty mess to clean up. Fast and easy is how RotoRazor cuts, whether it's carpet or wood. Look at this. RotoRazor cuts with laser precision. Plastic lattice? Are you kidding me? No match for RotoRazor. And why struggle with tin snips when you can cut sheet metal like a pro with RotoRazor? And when it comes to pipes, well, RotoRazor has never met a pipe that it couldn't cut. Any project, big or small, RotoRazor can do it all.
The RotoRazor is a really awesome tool. I use it every day in my plumbing business.
I like the RotoRazor a lot. It's lightweight, easy to use, cuts through surfaces clean, easy. I could use this tool for a lot of different jobs that I do. RotoRazor is awesome.
I'd recommend the RotoRazor to anyone.
So you've seen it all, and you're still not convinced that RotoRazor is the real deal? Well, let's put it to the ultimate test. We're gonna cut right into the cement. You would never do this with your blades, but we're gonna find out just how tough RotoRazor really is. But I'm not done. Keep it running, and then put it right up against this stone wheel grinder. This is more abuse than you put on your blade in 20 years. Now the question is, can RotoRazor cut through this wood panel? The answer is yes. That is the quality and durability you will not find in any other tool. And now you know why the pros count on RotoRazor. Here's how to order.
This is your last chance to order your RotoRazor. That's right, order in the next 10 minutes and you get the RotoRazor with over 3,400 RPMs of power for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But we're just getting started. To help make cleanup a snap, we'll also include the handy dust removal attachment kit, a $30 value at no extra charge. Just attach the dust release valve to any vacuum. And now you're cutting clean with a powerful machine and without the mess. Plus, we'll also include the RotoRazor contractor storage case. This durable construction-grade case keeps your RotoRazor storage safe and secure. A $20 value. It's free, too. And we're not finished yet. Order right now, and we'll also include this professional 310-piece contractor's drill bit set. The set comes complete with metal drill bits, masonry bits, wood bits, screwdriver bits, molly bolts, wall anchors, and more. Every bit for every job imaginable. 310 pieces in all. A $50 value, yours free. Just pay separate shipping and processing. So call or go online right now to purchase your RotoRazor, complete with 3 cutting blades, the dust removal kit, the contractor storage case, and the 310-piece drill bit set. A total value of over $300. All yours for just 3 easy payments of only $49.95. But hold on, order right now, and we'll automatically upgrade you to the new and improved RotoRazor 3000 series. This is a risk-free offer because the RotoRazor comes with our exclusive 1-year replacement warranty and our unconditional 30-day create-like-a-contractor money-back guarantee. Use your RotoRazor for a full month, and if it's not the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to give your home an extreme makeover, simply send it back for a full refund of the purchase price, but keep the 310-piece drill bit set as our gift to you for just trying RotoRazor. You get it all for just 3 easy payments of just $49.95. And remember, call now to upgrade to the RotoRazor 3000 series absolutely free. Have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen or go online to order your RotoRazor right now.
The preceding was a paid commercial program for RotoRazor, sponsored by Razor Tools, LLC.
The preceding program was a paid advertisement. This station does not endorse any product in this program and takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made in this program.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing. And now we're back in control.
Call now and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-913-1174. That's 800-913-1174. 800-913-1174.
Thanks for watching Delta Fox 10.
The following program is a paid advertisement. It has been provided in whole to this station and paid for by the advertiser to promote and sell their products or goods to consumers. This station does not endorse any product in this program and takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made in this program.
The following program is a paid advertisement for the Tax Relief Line, sponsored by Airtime Media.
If you are one of the millions of people struggling with IRS tax debt, if you are getting threatening letters from the IRS, if you are being threatened with wage garnishments, property seizures, or even freezing assets and money, if you are behind on your taxes or you haven't even filed your taxes in years, stay tuned to this program for great news. We're about to introduce you to the revolutionary new team that's solving tax problems for people just like you, all across the nation. If you've got tax problems, it's time for you to meet the pros at the Tax Relief Line. This is a tough economy for a lot of people. We hear the stories all the time. Someone lost their job, they get behind on their bills, maybe they have major unexpected expenses, or maybe they are even hit with sudden medical bills. Some people may be struggling financially in the aftermath of a divorce, death in the family, or other family issue. Maybe they're self-employed, or they run a business but just didn't pay their quarterly taxes on time. Or maybe their business turned south. Now they just don't have the money to pay a hefty tax bill. Then when it seems like their situation can't get any worse, they get hit with their IRS tax bill. And if they can't pay it, because everyone is just a number to the IRS, that means they start the toughest collection process in the world. This can lead to wage garnishment, property seizures, and in some cases, they may be in danger of losing everything. Think about this. The IRS can be so tough. They were the only government agency able to take out Al Capone. And since you're no Al Capone, what do you think they can do to you? Wanda, a single mom with 2 children, working extra hours as a waitress, just can't pay all of her bills. And now she gets a certified letter from the IRS telling her she owes them $15,000. There's no way she's going to be able to raise that kind of money. Philip and June are older people on a fixed income. The IRS wants them to pay over $45,000. With everything that they've managed to scrape together over the years, they still don't have anywhere near enough money to pay that kind of bill. So will the IRS just decide to take their money out of their bank account? Now they are in danger of losing their home and everything important to them. Brian and Olivia couldn't pay their taxes, so they decided to just ignore filing with the IRS altogether. They thought maybe they'd catch up on their taxes next year. But the next year, they were even in worse financial shape, so they just ignored the IRS again. Now they've done the same thing for the last 5 years. Well, the IRS finally caught up with them. They have accumulated a massive amount of debt with the IRS. They're going in front of an IRS agent shortly, all alone, and they are absolutely terrified. These are just some of the examples of the kinds of tax problems that can happen to real people just like you. Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. One of the things that seems overwhelming to people with tax problems is the myriad of details in the tax laws. These laws are so confusing, it seems that no one could ever understand them. There are over 75,000 pages of tax regulations. You can't know all these laws alone. That's why you should never deal with the IRS by yourself. The deck is always stacked against you. But the Tax Relief Line's professionals are experts in tax law. Many are attorneys or former IRS agents, which makes them very familiar with how the IRS works and the particular methods they use. With their unique understanding of the latest elements of the current tax law, no one is better suited to help you with your tax problems than the Tax Relief Line. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on the screen anytime during this program. Our friendly, knowledgeable representatives are ready to take your call. The call is free and your initial consultation is free. If you qualify, the Tax Relief Line can stop wage garnishment, bank and property seizures, foreclosures, and other devastating actions by the IRS. If you own a business and the IRS wants to shut you down or freeze your bank account, you need to call us. We can help prevent these actions so that you can continue to make money. We can also defend you against state and local tax audits. We will position ourselves between you and the IRS so you have professional representation. Let us protect you from the aggressive tactics the IRS uses to get your attention. You need an advocate on your side. Don't fight the IRS alone. We will show you the options that the IRS may never tell you about. We can even show you how it may be possible, in some situations, to reduce your tax debt to zero. When you have professional representation with the state, IRS, or a court, your outcome may be significantly better. Even if you have not filed your taxes in years, call the number on your screen right now. Wouldn't it be great to be free of the fear and stress of having the IRS take virtually everything you own? You don't have to live in fear anymore. You can make the call anytime during this program. The call and the consultation are free. Now, maybe you're wondering exactly how all of this works. How can one simple phone call save you from a devastating judgment by the IRS, state, or local tax authorities? When we come back, we'll show you how the process works. We'll show you how a single call to the Tax Relief Line can help you get on the road to financial freedom. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
About a year ago, the IRS contacted me demanding money. I thought I had been doing fine because I filed my taxes every year and on time, but I made a big mistake which came back to bite me. That mistake cost me big time. Next thing I knew, the IRS said I owed $15,000. I didn't know what to do because I didn't have that kind of money laying around. Then I saw an ad on TV for the Tax Relief Line. I gave them a call, and after I gave them all the information they needed, they went to work and told me they'd get back to me. Well, they did in about a week, and they said they were finished with my case. I only owed $235. I don't know how they did it, but I don't care. All I know is I didn't have to pay $15,000.
Welcome back. Did you know the IRS has over 75,000 pages of rules and regulations and hundreds of penalties for people who have fallen behind on their taxes? Did you realize that the IRS charges interest on the debt that you owe? Were you aware that the interest and the penalties can compound, multiplying the amount of money you owe the IRS exponentially? When you consider all the penalties and interest for any money that you may owe the IRS, as well as how everything is hidden in thousands of pages of ever-changing tax laws, you will never be able to know. It may seem hopeless, but it's not. That's why you need an advocate from the Tax Relief Line. Our seasoned professional tax experts study the tax laws daily. They are always looking for ways to legally save you money and get you in good standing with the IRS. They are up to date on the latest provisions for our clients and are very experienced in negotiating with the IRS. They handle thousands of cases a month. They do it daily. And when you're in trouble with the IRS, these kind of expert skills and advice are vital to your economic survival. Knowledge is power. So how can the experts at the Tax Relief Line help you? First, they need to know the details of your situation. When you call, they'll do a free phone consultation in order to get the vital information about your unique circumstances. It's a free call and a free consultation. Many times, the IRS is incorrect in the amount they claim you owe. So an important part of our strategy is to challenge everything and look for ways to save you as much as possible. In many cases, there is a solution that our clients never knew about. We can find these solutions because we study the 75,000 pages of tax laws daily, continually looking for ways to save you money. Here are some of the issues that may arise when you are in tax debt. The IRS can file a federal tax lien against you. A federal tax lien is a public record that indicates you owe money to the IRS. Federal tax liens are filed with the county clerk in the county from which you or your business operates. Federal tax liens are public records, so they will show up on your credit report. This can make it difficult or even impossible for you to ever qualify for a home loan, auto loan, or to even get a new job. The lien is a public notice that you owe taxes to the IRS. The notice reads, "There is a lien in favor of the United States on all property and rights to property belonging to this taxpayer for the amount of these taxes and additional penalties, interests, and costs that may accrue." Federal tax liens can even tie up your personal property and real estate, meaning you cannot sell or transfer the property without having the lien removed so that you can transfer a clear title. That means you can't even borrow against your own property to pay your IRS bills. IRS tax liens generally last until you have paid the IRS the money you owe them. If you don't settle a federal tax lien by paying the IRS what you owe in back taxes or removing your liability through an offer and compromise, you'll probably not be able to get a release of the tax lien against you. An IRS levy is even worse. An IRS levy is direct action taken by the IRS to collect taxes from you. The IRS can issue a levy to take any money you have in your checking or savings accounts. They can levy your paycheck, or if you are a business, your accounts receivable. IRS levies come with a ton of paperwork, and most wage levies take so much money from your paycheck that you may not even have enough left to live on. This is one of the worst things that can happen when you are in debt to the IRS. Let's stop right here and remind you that our phone lines are open right now. You can call anytime during this program to get help with your taxes. The call is free and the consultation is free. All you have to do is call the number on your screen.
We had run our own business for a few years, but at some point hit a wall. The taxes built up and we couldn't pay it. It was like $30,000 in taxes. We tried to work it out with the IRS directly. It went on for what seemed like forever before the IRS refused to work with us anymore. They demanded full payment, which we just couldn't afford to do. And then they started piling on interest and penalty fees. We were getting pretty scared.
But then Caesar and Rosario called us.
The tax relief line told us that we were still in a 30-day appeals period, which we didn't realize. Our debt was settled for a lot less than the $30,000 the IRS wanted. Now we can sleep at night again. They really know their stuff, and they work fast.
In a wage garnishment, the IRS can decide how much of your monthly income it needs to pay off your debt, and they can take a percentage of every one of your paychecks. If your employer fails to provide the necessary forms for you to fill out that could limit the amount of your money the IRS can take, you could be hit with wage garnishments upward of 75% of every paycheck you get. When the IRS determines how much of your monthly income they are going to take, they don't care how much you actually have to spend on necessities. Instead, they rely on tables they've compiled of allowable expenses. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, IRS wage garnishment deductions could leave you without enough money to even pay your rent.
I'm just a few years away from retirement, so the last thing I needed was to get letters from the IRS saying that I owed $50,000, including penalties and interest.
But then Bess made that call, and our tax experts turned things around for her.
They turned a bad situation into something I could afford to pay. Can you believe it? My tax bill ended up only being $1,200, not the $50,000 the IRS wanted. I still can't believe it. They are miracle workers over there.
Maybe you have been through a divorce. Many married taxpayers choose to file a joint tax return because of certain benefits this filing status allows. Both taxpayers are jointly as well as individually responsible for the tax, any interest, and any penalty due on the joint return, even if they later divorce. In some cases, a spouse can be relieved of the tax, the interest, and the penalties on a joint tax return. There are 3 types of relief available. These are known as innocent spouse relief, separation of liability, and equitable relief. But how would you ever know if you qualify for any of these? You need to call the tax relief line now. Understanding all of these tax provisions in the law takes experienced tax consultants, people who have your best interests in mind and will look for solutions that will benefit you. Negotiating with the IRS to establish payment plans, filing an offer in compromise to settle the debt, filing old returns, obtaining innocent spouse solutions, and convincing the IRS to lift liens or levies are some of our most important services. When people try to negotiate with the IRS to obtain these services on their own, they are virtually never successful. Don't be one of them. Call the tax relief line at the number on your screen right now. And don't put it off. In many cases, you may have limited time to get a settlement. So call the tax relief line. They have successfully negotiated hundreds of cases, and they will speak to the IRS, state or local tax officials for you to get you the best settlement possible. When we come back, we'll share more of the success stories of people just like you who were able to settle their tax debt for much less than they owe. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The staff at the tax relief line was amazing. What a stress relief to find a company that has the power to stand up to the IRS. We tried and got nowhere fast, but they answered all of our questions and always had a great response to any IRS question, even when the IRS insisted that we owed what they claimed. They caught mistakes the IRS made and found some new ones that we just didn't have the experience to see. They got the IRS to drop the penalties and interest and reduce the entire amount they were asking for, saving us many thousands of dollars. Now we put this whole IRS ordeal behind us, which really was a living nightmare. There's no question that without the tax relief line, we probably would have been forced to sell our home and lose a big chunk of our savings. Thanks for coming through for us.
Welcome back. People have a lot of questions about their tax problems. Questions like, how much trouble am I in? What are my options? How quickly can you stop levies and wage garnishments? Remember that you can call the tax relief line at the number on your screen anytime during this program. We have friendly, knowledgeable representatives standing by right now to take your call. Another question people have is what happens when they call us? What is the process, and how will we begin to solve their tax problems? These are great questions, and it's really very simple. When you call, we'll give you a free, confidential consultation to personally evaluate your specific tax situation. Next, we will get all the relevant information from you that is necessary and review it. And finally, we'll recommend the best course of action for your own personal situation. Once you retain our services, our first job is to shield you from the IRS and then pursue the best course of action, which begins with our research of your IRS master file, as well as the release of levies and garnishments. Coming to an agreement with the IRS is, as you have probably already found out, something that is not easily accomplished. It takes a lot of work and research. For example, an offer in compromise requires the submission of extensive financial information and documentation. After that, we begin the negotiations necessary to get you a reduced tax settlement. The calculations listed on the paperwork we submit for you have a major impact on whether or not the IRS will trim down your tax debt and also on how much they will actually reduce it. All of this information must be precisely calculated and backed up by the appropriate documentation. Any mistake in your information or even the format you submit can cause the IRS to refuse to reduce your debt. That's why you should call the Tax Relief Line right now. Our team of professionals understand exactly what material will be needed to submit to the IRS on your behalf, and they know exactly how to submit it. In these cases, the devil really is in the details. One wrong, innocent mistake you make when you speak with the IRS could cost you thousands of dollars. Our tax experts have the knowledge and experience to make sure that every aspect of your submission meticulously follows IRS procedures to the letter. Once all of your information and documentation have been received and accepted by the IRS, we will begin to negotiate for you. This is a very critical stage of the process. Even saying the wrong thing to the IRS during these negotiations can result in the IRS refusing to reduce your debt. Imagine that, just one wrong word. That's why it is so vitally important that you get experienced professional help from the Tax Relief Line. Allowing us to represent you and negotiate for you greatly improves your chance of reducing your debt. Remember, the IRS will only reduce your tax debt if the offer in compromise negotiation is successful. Don't go it alone. Learn how you could save thousands of dollars. You can call the number on your screen right now to speak with one of our friendly representatives. The call is free, the consultation is free, and there is truly no obligation. Wouldn't it be great to have this financial burden finally lifted once and for all? Don't wait. Don't put it off until later. Call the number on your screen right now. People who have called the Tax Relief Line, people just like you, have saved thousands of dollars, as well as their property from being taken by the IRS. We love reading the success stories from our clients, stories like these. We have disguised their identities to protect them.
I'm not an accountant, and I've never been good with numbers. I've always tried to do the right thing and work hard and pay my bills, but I messed up on my IRS returns. They are so complicated, and I really don't know what I'm doing, and I learned the hard way when I start getting certified letters in the mail from the IRS. They said I owed more money than I've earned in the past 2 years. I was stressed out.
Then a friend told Demetrius about the Tax Relief Line.
But the Tax Relief Line, everything they said was true. They seemed like they cared what was happening to me. I don't know what they said to the IRS, but they must have meant business, because the IRS has not bothered me since. I got a $30,000 bill settled for like $500. How cool is that?
And we were moved by the story of Valoria from Colorado.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
These are just a few of the many stories of people just like you who were able to solve their tax problems. Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. Or maybe you've just accrued a lot of debt to the IRS and now it seems like more than you can ever pay back. Don't negotiate with them on your own when you could solve all of your IRS, state, and even local tax problems with a single phone call. Just call the number on your screen right now. Your nightmare IRS story could have a happy ending, just like these other success stories we've shown you. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Call us right now and get the help you need. I'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
I was pretty scared when I got an IRS notice about wage garnishments. I wasn't making that much money to begin with. Then the actual garnishments started, and it really put me in a bind. I was able to borrow enough money to help pay my regular bills, plus food and gas and stuff, but there was no way I could borrow enough to just pay off the huge IRS bill. Then I saw a commercial for the tax relief line. I liked what I saw, and it seemed like it just couldn't hurt any worse than what was already happening to me. This was the best decision ever. They got me sorted out in less than a month. My wage garnishments stopped, and they negotiated a settlement that I could actually deal with. Today, I owe zero taxes, and next year, I'll actually be getting my first refund in years.
There are literally millions of Americans that find themselves buried in tax debt. But as we have seen in this program, there are solutions for most every tax debt situation. We've shown you just a few of the many, many success stories of people just like you who have had highly successful negotiations with the IRS to reduce their tax debt substantially. People from all walks of life, from those who own their own businesses to those just getting into the workforce, from single people raising children by themselves to older couples on a fixed income. It doesn't matter who you are, what part of the country you live in, how old you are, or what you do for a living. If you get in serious debt to the IRS, they could garnish your wages, seize your property, and virtually ruin your life. So, if you've been watching this program and waiting to call us about your tax debt nightmare, don't wait any longer. Call the number on your screen right now. Our friendly, knowledgeable representatives are standing by to take your call. The call is free, the consultation is free, and there is no obligation. You need a lawyer when you go to court, and you need the tax relief line when you are facing serious debt to the IRS. Our tax experts know the tax laws, the IRS procedures, and they have negotiated many successful settlements. So call the number on your screen right now. Write this number down in case the lines are busy so you can call us again later. Don't let this opportunity to get out from under the burden of severe tax debt pass you by. Call us right now.
The preceding program was a paid advertisement for the Tax Relief Line, sponsored by Airtime Media.
The preceding program was a paid advertisement. This station does not endorse any product in this program and takes no responsibility for the opinions or statements made in this program.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new, clinically proven Legzercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
After using Legzercise for a week, I felt like I wanted to go for a walk again without pain like I used to.
Legzercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
It's helped with the swelling and the pain. The tingling feeling is gone.
Call right now and order your very own Legzercise Pro, the clinically proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call now.
Thanks for watching Delta Fox 10.
Coming up on Small Town Big Deal, the world's biggest festival celebrating one of our smallest fruits.
Welcome to Cranberry Fest. The costumes and the